Hi there. My name is Rob, and if this is your first time seeing one of my videos, welcome. It's nice to meet you. If you are returning, then welcome back. Thanks for the support. Today I want to talk about, so let me just back up. I'm having a real hard time today getting this video started. It's hard. It is really, I'm trying to make this video, and I might seem frustrated, but I'm trying to make this video in one take. And I have some bullet points attached to my tripod that I can refer to, but still, it is so hard to get started making videos, knowing that you're going to be on camera. And I thought I'd leave this little explanation in at the beginning because it kind of ties in with what this video is about. Today I want to talk to you about creating faceless YouTube channels. And if you are a returning viewer, then you probably are wondering why, because Rob, you usually say that I have to create videos with my face in them. You're a big proponent of putting your face in videos, and I am. I think that gives you the best chance at particularly the branding side and the connection side, connecting with your audience. But it's super hard, and I get that. I go through this with pretty much every video that I make, and I typically put bloopers at the end so I can kind of show you what I go through to try to get started with these videos. And that's a big reason why a lot of people just stop. They don't get into YouTube because they feel like, well, I have to put my face in my videos, and I just can't do it. I can't get over the hump. I just get stuck, and I can't seem to get it right, and spinning their wheels, and they just give up. So I totally get that, and that's why I wanted to put this video together. I've done a little bit of research on faceless channels. In fact, I'm about to start one myself. And more on that later. But what I've done is I've put together 6 strategies you can follow that will help you, that will give you the best shot at success in creating a faceless channel. If you just decide, you know what, I can't do this face thing, I want to go the faceless route. I'm in Canada, so I say route. Anyways, I've got some notes here. First thing I wanted to go through is the challenges. So some challenges in making a faceless channel is that it makes it harder for you to stand out. If you're making a faceless channel, there's different ways to make faceless channels. All of them don't have your face in them, obviously, but because you're not talking to the camera and it's either a voiceover or music with a voiceover. The voiceover could be you, or it could be somebody else, or it could be AI. But because you're not actually looking at the camera, then that makes it harder for you to connect with your audience. Or put another way, it makes it harder for the audience to connect with you and to want to subscribe to you. There's some other things that have to happen for them to want to do that and for them to want to come back. It's hard to stand out. You can't get that personal connection if you're not So like right now, I'm looking at the camera lens, and it was kind of a rough start to this video, but I feel like I'm going now, and I'm looking at the lens, and that means you probably can see me looking at you. So that's a way to build connection. Also, with a faceless channel, there's typically lower engagement. So because I don't have that, if this were a faceless channel, because you typically don't have that connection happening, then it's harder to ask people to engage with you. And by engagement, I mean give you likes, subscribe to your channel, put comments in the comment section, and then have you respond and comment back and forth. I mean, it can still happen. It's harder to get that kind of thing going with a faceless channel. The other thing is it's harder to get brand deals and sponsors, because if you're not making a connection with your audience, that is it's attractive to brands and sponsors if you do have a connection with your audience, because then if you talk about their product, it makes more sense for them it makes it easier for you to be able to sell their product to your audience. Okay, if you don't have a connection, then it's harder to make that, to kind of bridge that gap, if that makes sense. And the last thing that makes it hard is the YouTube algorithm. The YouTube algorithm, in everything that I've seen and even what I experience, is that the more you can connect with your audience and be authentic and just kind of speak your mind and make a video that way, the YouTube algorithm likes that, okay? And maybe it's because people are watching longer, they're engaging more, retention is higher. You know, all these things help videos be more successful in YouTube, and just because that's the way the algorithm works. It likes these sorts of things. But again, I totally get it. It is hard as hell to look at the camera and talk normally. It's taken me years to get used to it. Excuse me, and I'm still not used to it, as you could tell from the beginning of this video. So why? What are the pros? There are pros. I've got some pros written down here too. Why might you want to do a faceless channel? Well, number one, a comfort level, right? Like if you don't have to stare at a camera, which you're not used to doing, and you can make a video without having to do that, then that removes a barrier. That makes things easier. Okay. There's also less pressure for you to get camera ready, so to speak, right? So whether you want to always shave, but if you're male, shave before a video, or put your makeup on, whatever you feel like you have to do to make yourself presentable, all of that goes away if you don't put your face in your videos. Okay, so that's a pro. Privacy. Some people have privacy concerns. So making a video with your face in it, I'm putting myself out there, and perhaps I'm worried about that. Maybe there's people I don't want to see me in videos, right? Maybe I just want to do this without anybody that I know knowing that I'm doing this, right? Maybe I'm embarrassed about it, right? Maybe, whatever the reason. You can remain anonymous if you don't put your face in your videos. Okay, much easier too, anyways. And then outsourcing. Outsourcing becomes a whole lot easier. Now, what I mean by that is when you're making videos, maybe there's some part of the creative process that you don't want to do yourself. So let's talk about voiceover. Let's say you decide you want voiceover in your videos. Typically, I've seen some videos without voiceover. You can do just text, have text appear and disappear, and then tell a story that way while showing visuals. That's one example of a faceless channel. And I've seen one that's doing quite well, actually, that's made that way. But let's say you do want voiceover, but you don't want to use your own voice. You can outsource that. You can go to a website like Fiverr and pay a voice artist to voice your video. I would recommend trying it yourself first. It's a skill. It takes some practice to get used to doing voiceovers. But if you do that yourself, that will save you some expense, whether you hire somebody or go to AI. And that's my next point. You can outsource voiceovers to AI. AI is getting a whole lot better at generating real sounding voice, okay? But I'm not a huge fan of that myself. I've toyed with it, tried it out, but you just can't. The human element is not there, and I just feel like for me personally, I don't typically like AI voiced videos. And as of today, anyways, I can usually tell when it's AI based, and then to me, it's like, that's not even a real person. Somebody just converted, maybe a magazine article or another YouTube video, a script, into a video with AI. And I don't know. For me, once I notice that and am aware of that, I get turned off a little bit. But as technology gets better and better, pretty soon you won't be able to tell whether it's an AI voice or not. Okay, so so back to my pros. It is a pro. It's a it's a positive that you can outsource if you want to. You can outsource certain things. And as far as the visuals go, like the visual part of your video, you can outsource that too. So outsource meaning you can hire somebody to do it for you, or you can subscribe to a B-roll service or source like Motion Array or Storyblocks, something like that, some place where you can go and download royalty-free video clips and then put those in your video, and you can build a story that way, right? So whether you do that or you hire someone to do that, that's totally up to you. I recommend not outsourcing any of this stuff when you're just starting out, but as your channel grows, you may become too busy, and if it's a faceless channel, then that becomes an option for you. You can start to outsource things if you need to. And the last pro that I have is that it can be, faceless channels can be more appealing to certain niche groups. Okay, not all, but there are some cases where perhaps that's preferred. And it might be, I don't know, it could be product reviews, perhaps. Maybe you don't need to show your face for that. Maybe some people may not be interested in building a connection with a reviewer. They just want to know about the product. Okay, so that would be a different style of video. So the strategies. I mentioned there were 6 strategies. So I've gone through the pros and the cons. I prefer face YouTube channels, but there's room for faceless, and it's growing. There's a lot of faceless channels doing quite well. And if that removes a barrier for you, maybe that's the way you want to go. Some people start with a faceless channel, and then as they get more comfortable making videos that way, they may graduate to putting their face in their videos, either in that, videos on that same channel, if they just want to kind of pivot to a different type of making different types of videos, or they can create another channel that has their face in it. So anyways, strategies. The first one is, so when I say strategy, here are some things that I think you should focus on if you want to give your faceless channel the best chance of success. So the first strategy would be high quality voiceovers. Okay, so what I mean by that, well, it's kind of obvious, but if you're not going to be showing your face, it's going to make it harder to connect with somebody. You need to focus on making the audio really good, the voiceover. Okay, so if you're going to do that yourself, that might mean going out and buying yourself a really good mic, a nice audio interface, getting in the habit of, or learning how to edit the voiceover so that it sounds better, adding a little bit of bass, treble, compression, the equalizer, noise reduction, all these things. Getting into soundproofing your room so you can get the best voiceover, things like that. So focus on a high quality voiceover that people want to hear, right, and like the sound of. That could be your key to success. Second one is high quality visuals. Okay, so that, again, I mentioned it already, but that might mean signing up to a service like Storyblocks or Motion Array so that you can download B-roll footage royalty-free. Okay, so that is an easy way to get videos. And you can search, like, you build your story, and then you lay down your voiceover track, and then you start adding visuals to it. But visuals, I mean video footage. Little snippets of video footage to kind of help tell your story. But make sure that's high quality. So whether you download them from a service, a royalty-free service like I mentioned, or if you make them yourself, that's totally fine too. Get outside with your camera, or inside, depending on what you're filming. Or if you're doing product reviews, you can make videos of those products. But you're going to want to get the highest quality, you're going to want to learn a little bit about cameras, videos, frame rates. What's the best frame rate to shoot in? The resolution. Should you be shooting in 4K resolution, 60 frames a second, 120 frames per second? Just a little tip here. If you want to take product shots, it's good to boost up your frame rate, so 60 frames or 120 frames per second. when you're taking your videos, because then you can slow it back down to 30 frames per second if that's what your video is going to be. And to slow it down, you basically stretch it out on the timeline and you get faster. Sorry, no, you get slow motion, right? So with slow motion, that it's easier to hide some jitters, like if you were, a little jittery holding your phone, if your phone is the camera you're using, playing it back in slow motion or putting it in your video as slow motion will hide some of that. So, but yeah, that's strategy number 2. High quality visuals, and lighting too is something else you might have to get into if you're making your own B-roll. The third one is you're going to want to develop a strong brand identity. Okay, and this could be, it's a little more challenging because, again, like what I usually say is your face is your brand. So that's when we're talking about making face YouTube videos like what I'm making right now. This video here, you would have probably seen my face in my thumbnail and now my face in the majority of my videos. My face is part of my brand, but the face doesn't have to be part of your brand. For a faceless channel, think about things like the way you edit your videos. So you might get into using the same types of transitions between scenes, whether that's like a fade transition or a swipe transition or just hard cut. Whatever it is, try to do it the same way all the time, because that will build consistency and people will get used to the way you make videos. So that's one part of it. Another part of it might be the text and the fonts that you use. Make sure you use the same fonts. Do some research ahead of time and basically create a brand kit for yourself that includes the fonts you're going to use, the size of text you're going to use, the colors that you're going to use. So a good brand kit would include all the colors that you're going to use. So like in my videos, I typically just use white text. Okay, that's part of my brand. You may want to go with certain colors. You may want to develop a logo. That becomes even more important. If your face is not going to be your brand, well then maybe a logo is going to be your brand. And you may want to spend some time developing that or outsourcing to a designer to help you with that. Leverage storytelling is the next strategy. If you can tell a good story, and I'm doing a lot of research in this. This is something I want to get better at. If you can tell a story that kind of hooks people in and they're glued to the video and they want to see how the story progresses, they want to see how it ends, right? And there's a whole bunch of elements to storytelling, the hook, the body, introduce some conflict. People are going to want to see how that plays out. All these things. If you get really good at telling a story, okay, you don't have to tell it live in real time like I'm talking now in real time to the camera. Again, with your faceless channel, you're going to write a script, okay, and that script will be a story. You can use tools like ChatGPT to help you with that. That's great. I use ChatGPT a lot, particularly with help with titles for my videos, but you can have it help you with scripts if you want. Get really good at telling a story. And if you're good at that, then you'll be able to keep people engaged in your videos for longer. So again, that becomes much more important when you're not making videos like this one and it's a faceless channel and you need another way to retain your viewers. Okay, so that was number 4. Number 5, actually, I've already really talked about this, engaging editing techniques. So again, what I mean by that is your transitions, your cutaways, how you put your visuals together. So you're going to need to spend some time on the video editing process. I mean, every video needs some amount of editing. Typically, at the bare minimum, you may want to delete the very beginning as you were just getting started, pressing the record button, for example, and maybe the ending where you press stop. But you also may have made mistakes in the middle that you want to cut out. Video editing is how you would do that. So, but in addition to those basic video editing skills, you may need to get a little bit more into it. I mentioned transitions, how you cut from one scene to another, whether it's a fade transition or a fancy cube rotate, or a glitch transition, or just a hard cut transition, whatever it is. You may have to get a little fancier to make your videos look more pleasing, and that could just be another way to help people stick around and watch your videos if they enjoy the content. The last one I want to mention actually is it's kind of part of number 5, but it's number 6, creative use of music. So in my videos with my face, I typically only use music at the end when I'm showing bloopers and when I'm wrapping up the video. For some other videos that I've made, more tutorial type videos, I will put some music in for a little intro slide that has the title of what I'm about to talk about or show. But now more recently in my walk and talk videos or sitting here in the chair videos, I just do it at the end, some music. And usually the same piece of music all the time. But if you're going to make a faceless channel, then you may want to put some more effort into the music that you use. So if you have several scenes, let's say, in your video, you may want to choose a different piece of music for each scene. That could be a nice way to transition to another scene if the music changes, right? Maybe the mood changes. It's just it's another way to, I guess, guide your viewers along through your story and through the visuals by changing the music up, and probably having music throughout the video as opposed to just a voiceover. That's not a hard and fast rule. You don't have to have music throughout. It's just another tool at your disposal that you can use that might help make things better, especially if it's nice music. But again, I'll stress, you can't use music that you'll hear on the radio, popular music. You have to use royalty-free music, and there's a bunch of free music available to you on YouTube that you can use. Or if you want more choice, you can subscribe to a service like Epidemic Sound or Motion Array. Both of them have lots of music tracks that you can download and use royalty-free. Now you have to pay an annual subscription to that service, Epidemic Sound or wherever you get it from, Motion Array. Those are the two I use. But that gives you a license to use those in your videos. Okay, so and there's thousands of tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands. I'm not sure, but more than you. And you can search for music tracks based on the type of music you're looking for. If you want, lo-fi or rock or country or whatever type of music you're looking for, you can search and find something that matches the mood that you're trying to convey in that portion of your video. Okay, so those are some strategies that I think will help if you really want to do a faceless channel. And again, I might be a proponent of non-faceless, of putting your face in your videos. I think that's a really good idea and will give you the best chance of growth. But I recognize that it's not for everybody. So I'm speaking to you. If you really don't want to do that, put your face in your videos, you don't have to. So those are some strategies that might be able to help you out. And yeah, now I'll get to editing this video. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. I know it was kind of a different beginning, but anyways, I hope you got some value out of this. Yeah, and that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. And I did mention that I am about to make a faceless channel. And yeah, I don't know enough to tell you much more than that, other than it's going to involve my voice and somebody else who's in this shot. Probably in the next week or so, that channel will be available. Different perspective. Okay, so anyways, look for that. It'll be a fun project for me. This channel's not going anywhere. If you liked this content, do me a favor and give a thumbs up and come back for another video. I put out videos once or twice a week now, and I do a live stream every week as well. So every Tuesdays at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. So feel free to stop by for that. And yeah, with that said, I'll wrap this up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys. Hey guys, if you're new If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, then welcome back. Usually say, I agree. I am a big supporter. If you're new here, welcome. Nice to meet you. My name is Rob, and hey guys. If you're new here, welcome. Nice to meet you. Jesus. Hey guys, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, then welcome back. Okay. Today, test. Okay. And I'm going to give you 6 strategies to make it successful. Jesus. We'll make your video next. I know. All right, we'll make your video next. Test. Hey guys, my name is Rob, and thanks for clicking on the video. Hey guys, welcome to my video. But faceless channels, there's definitely room for faceless channels. Oh boy, why don't you come on up back there? Hey guys, if you're new here,